All right, good day, yogis. This is Stephen Cheng coming to you live from Simha Yoga Lab in Jersey City, New Jersey. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule, as well as my payment information for Venmo and for PayPal. Venmo is my preferred way of payment, and my handle is Simha Yoga Lab, and the 4-digit ID code is 8096 if you're prompted for verification. Classes are $10. If you're having a difficult time right now, $5 is fine. Please do the best you can. I'm streaming on Instagram and on Facebook, and the videos are then uploaded to my YouTube channel, Simha Yoga Lab. Please visit any of those platforms for practice anytime. If you're thinking about coming to in-studio classes, please again go to the website. There is a section with instructions on how to pre-register. You do need to download your waiver and to e-sign and to send that in when you pre-register. So that's a very important part of contact tracing as well as liability. So make sure you do that. All right, so today's class is basics. It is a level 1 class. For those of you with tight hips, please elevate sitting up on a block or a blanket. Any elevation is helpful. If you have tight hips, lower down. And of course, if you have any kind of injuries, special conditions, or limitations, make sure you check in and pull back on poses that are inappropriate for your body today. Either modify or skip poses altogether. All right, and you guys are feeling okay today? Okay. Palms face up. Fingers come to Jnana Mudra, thumb and index fingers touching. As you ground evenly, sitting up tall, your shoulders broaden. Inhales, even out with your exhales. Three arms together, inhale. Keeping the eyes closed, hands together in prayer from the heart, pressing the thumbs into your heart, heart back into the thumbs, lifting the heart up toward the sky, setting your intention for yoga practice, devoting your practice to someone or something, or to yourself, your supreme self that lives within your heart, chanting the mantra for purification, purifying the space in which you practice yoga. Call our response. Om Pavitraha, Om Pavitraha, Pavitrava, Pavitrava, Sarva Vushtan, Sarva Vushtan, Katopiva, Katopiva, Yaha Smari, Yaha Smari, Pundrikaksham, Pundrikaksham, Sabahya, Sabahya, Vishyandraha, Vishyandraha, Suchihi, Suchihi. Starting to open the eyes and let the palms face up again. Fingers come back to Jnana Mudra. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, right ear to the right shoulder. Right hand to the left side. Elongate through the left side of the neck. And chin toward the right shoulder. Release back to center. Drop the right hand. Left ear to the left shoulder. Left hand to the right side. Chin toward the left shoulder. Release back to center. Drop the left hand. Chin toward the chest. Big circles with the head in one direction. Ear to one side. Roll it back. Opposite side. Roll the center. A few more rounds at your own pace. Take it back to center again and pause. Opposite direction. And coming back to center again. Lift the chin parallel to the floor and neutral spine coming off your blocks, and extend the legs forward, separating your feet. Hand support to either side as you sit up tall, turning your toes toward each other, and then roll out. Draw in, roll out, draw in, outer rotation, circling. Take it back to center, switch them around. Back to center again. Cross your shins, opposite shin on top, the other crossing of the legs. Raise the arms up high and extend. Twist to the right on the exhale. Inhale back to center, arms up. Exhale, other side. Come back to center again. Side bends, right hand down, left arm overhead. Take back up, other side. Back to center again, legs forward, forward fold. And take it back up. Bend your knees and swing the legs back behind you to down dog and pedal out the legs, walking it out side to side. All right, come back to stillness in the down dog. Raise your right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee in towards the nose and round the spine. Kick it up, open up the hips and bend the right knee. Extend the right foot back up, step it forward, warrior one. On the exhale, open it up, warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle, right hand inside the foot, left arm up. You can modify with the elbow to top the leg if it's difficult to touch down. Inhale, come back up, reverse warrior. And then hands to the floor, right foot, stepping back plank, and lower all the way down to the belly. Keep the hands alongside the rib cage, 3 progressive cobras. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. So your belly and the ribs remain on the floor. As you draw the elbows back, you're engaging the upper back and broadening the chest. On the exhale, lower almost all the way down, still hovering. Inhale, lift up a little higher. So now the ribs and the lower belly away from the floor. Elbows are still drawn back, still broadening your chest. On the exhale, lower almost all the way down. Inhale, lift up even higher. If you have full extension of arms, take it. If you still need the elbows bent, keep the elbows bent. Broadening your shoulders, taking a deeper back bend. On the exhale, lower all the way down, child's pose. Lift the seat, draw the seat toward the heels, and fold forward, child's pose. Inhale, lift the torso up, sitting on your heels, arms alongside. Pressing to the tops of the feet. On the inhale, lift, activating your quads. On the exhale, lower almost all the way down, so you're still hovering. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Lift. Lower. Lift. Lower and hold here. You're still hovering, right? So you're activating your quads really nice and strong. Keep the shoulders broadening. Keep the spine elongated. And then lift all the way back up. Walk your hands forward. Down dog. Inhale. Left heel up. 3-legged dog. Left knee in toward the nose and round the spine. Kick it up. Open up the hips. Bend the left knee. Extend the left foot back up, stepping it forward, warrior one. Ground the back heel down, arms up high. So left toes pointing forward, left knee over the heel, ground to the back heel, square forward. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Left hand inside the foot or modifying with the elbow to top of the leg and right arm reaching up. Inhale, come all the way back up, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands to the floor, left foot stepping back plank. And again, lower all the way down to the belly. So 3 progressive cobras again. Hands alongside the rib cage, elbows drawn back. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Belly and ribs, lower ribs, making contact to the floor. Exhale, lower almost all the way down. Inhale, lift up a little higher. So lower ribs, belly away from the floor. Exhale, lower almost all the way down. Inhale, lift up even higher. Fullest extension of your arms and holding here. Bhujangasana, this is your cobra pose. And gently bend the elbows to release all the way down and then child's pose. Feet toward the heels. Stretching it all back. Come back up again. Sitting on your heels. So actually, let's take the knees a little bit wider this time. So this is probably about hip width, if not slightly wider. And you're going to lower all the way down. So notice now you've created space for your seat to come lower down. So let's start there. We're going to come all the way up to vertical, and then we're going to lower all the way down. So we want to take it as deep as we can, and maybe recessing the seat to either side of your heel. So create that space, all right? So we're going up and down 5 times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower as far down as you can. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. So very controlled movement. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. This time, exhale, lower halfway. Then a little bit lower. 2 more increments. Even lower. And then now sit all the way down. Just stay here. Let the quad stretch, let the knees stretch, let the shins stretch, and the tops of the feet. Lift all the way back up. Walk the hands forward. Tuck the toes under. Down dog. Inhale, right heel up. Exhale, right knee in toward the nose. Kick it up, open up the hips, bend the right knee, extend the right foot back up, step it forward. Warrior 1. Hook your thumbs, then actively pull the hands strongly apart so your arms and shoulders are activated. Reach up, lengthen, and lean back for the back bend. So your hands are pulling apart, hooking at the thumbs. So your outer arms, outer shoulders are very strong here. Come back to vertical and lean it forward to a diagonal. Keep a straight spine. Keep your hands active, pulling the hands apart, hooking at the thumbs. And come up to vertical, release your hands. Wrap the hands back behind you, interlace. Broaden your shoulders, reach your knuckles back, lift the gaze upwards. On the exhale, bow forward, devotional warrior. Take it all the way back up. Warrior 1. Exhale, open it up. Warrior 2. Lengthen out the right leg, triangle pose. Tip the left hip back. Reach your right hand further forward. The hand can come to the floor, or if you need to modify, right hand to top the shin, left arm reaching up. So up to you. If you have the range, touch down. Inhale, take it all the way back up, reverse triangle. Bend the front knee, hands to the floor, right foot stepping back, and lower all the way down to the belly. All right, so once you're down, walk your hands wider than your mat, and slightly forward, and shift to your fingertips. Lift the elbows up. Engage your upper back by kissing your shoulder blades together, and press your hands to the floor. Lift up to baby cobra. Notice how activated your shoulder blades are, right? So you're kissing your shoulder blades together, engaging them. Lift the elbows higher. Draw the shoulder blades together. Lift up a little higher. So now you're halfway up from your baby cobra. Again, lift the elbows up, engage the upper back, lengthen even more. And release all the way down, child's pose. Once again. Then lift back up, sitting on your shins again. Right hand to the floor, left arm is up and side bend to the right. Then bend your left elbow. Start to draw the left elbow toward the right knee and fold. And then on the inhale, lift back up 3 times. Draw the left elbow to touch your right knee. Inhale, come back up 1 more time. Left elbow, right knee. Inhale, come back up. Come back to square center. Right hand to your left elbow. Pull the elbow back in space. Lift up for back bend. So now you're creating lots of space on the underside of your left shoulder joint. And start to release. Raise the arms up. Left hand to the floor. And then side bending to the right. Then bend your right elbow. Right elbow to your left knee. Inhale, come back up 3 times. Right elbow to your left knee. Inhale, come all the way back up. Right elbow, left knee. Inhale, come all the way back up. Stay vertical. Left hand to grab the right elbow and lean back for a back bend. Start to release. Raise the arms up high. Walk your hands forward. Down dog. Inhale. We did both sides, yes? Yes, right? I lost my train of thought for a second. Inhale, right heel up. Exhale, right knee in towards the nose. Kick it up, open up the hips, bend the right knee. Extend the right foot back up, step it forward, warrior 1. No, we didn't do the second side yet because we didn't do this yet. Right? We didn't do the second side. We only did the first side, right? We did only on one side. Okay, come back to down dog. Sorry, guys. All right, second side. Left leg up. Left knee in towards the nose. Inhale, kick it up. Open up the hips, bend the left knee. Extend the left back up, step it forward. Warrior 1. Hook your thumbs, but this time take the other thumb on top. So it's your non-dominant hooking of the thumbs. Reach up. Now I'm remembering much better. Pull the hands strongly apart so that the outer arms, outer shoulders are quite activated. And lean back in space for your back bend. Come back up to vertical. Lean it forward to a diagonal. So reach your fingertips forward, but pull the hands strongly apart. Come back up to vertical. Release and wrap the hands back behind you. Non-dominant interlacing of hands. Lift up, gaze up. Bow forward, devotional warrior. Inhale, draw all the way back up. Warrior 1. Exhale, open it up. Warrior 2. Lengthen out the left leg, triangle. Tip the right hip back, left hand forward. Hand to top of the shin or to the floor. Right arm reaching up. Inhale, take it back up. Reverse triangle. Bend the front knee, hands to the floor, left foot stepping back. And again, lower all the way down to the belly. Walk your hands off the mat and slightly forward. And again, shift your fingertips. But this time, I want you to rotate your fingers to point outwardly, about 45 degrees. All right, the first round, we were pointing the fingertips forward. This time, we're pointing the fingers outwardly. All right, so again, lift the elbows higher. Draw the shoulder blades toward each other. Lift up, baby cobra. So your belly and your lower ribs are on the floor. Lift the elbows higher. Draw the shoulder blades together. Lift up a little higher so you're about halfway up. One more time. Lift the elbows. Engage your upper back. Lengthen out your arms as much as you can. And start to release all the way down, child's pose. All right, lift the torso halfway. Kick the left arm down, turn the left hand in 45 degrees. So let me face you so you guys can see me. Left arm down, turn the left hand in 45 degrees. Right? Raise your right arm up, twist. Shaquille, if you can sit further down, yeah, there you go. Unless your knees are not comfortable enough with this, okay? Raise your right arm back up, release your right arm down, switch hands, right forearm, 45 degrees. Left arm up and behind you, half bind to twist. Release the left hand back down, lift the torso back up. Interlace your fingers, press palms forward and round the spine. Inhale, lift back up, wrap the hands back behind you, interlace, broaden your shoulders, lift up, gaze up. Release, hands together in prayer, take the other thumb on top, interlace, press forward again, round the spine. Lift up, wrap the hands back behind you, other thumb on top, so non-dominant interlacing, broaden, and lift. So these types of poses, right, are what we call heart openers. Heart openers are really important because it's taking your upper back, upper spine into a back bend, which is so often the opposite of what we are doing on regular life, right? Come back to neutral. So consider this. These are our phones. What do? Right? So this all the time. We're watching TV. What do we do on a couch? We're sitting on a computer. Same thing. So, heart openers. Opposite direction from this. So those are very important to give the body some balance, right? To give us the shape that we're habitually kind of like missing in our daily life. So I recommend, and you might actually even notice, as you continue to take the yoga practice, right? You stand a little bit taller because now you're kind of like retraining your body on doing stuff that maybe habitually you just don't do a lot, right? So you possibly stand a little bit taller, you'll feel a little bit more balance in your body between left and right. So those are all the things we're looking for, symmetry and length. All right, come back to down dog, walking your hands forward and pedaling out your legs. Wow, we were there for a long time. Sorry, guys. All right, start to walk your feet forward toward your hands. And let's take a yogic squat. Toes are turned out, heels are wide. Now, your hips are tight. You might actually even need to go wider, especially if your legs are really long. However, what is key is if you turn your toes out, you might be better able to keep your heels down to the floor when you take the yogic squat. Right? So hands to the floor, Toes turn out. Try to keep the heels down, bending at the knees. And then you're going to take your hands together in prayer. Press your elbows into your knees back into your elbows. And now once you have that resistance, you want to drop the feet down, lift the chest, and lean back. You see how active this is, right? Knees are drawing in, elbows are pushing out. So you should feel a lot of activity in your inner hip crease and then also into your hip joints in general. As you let the feet draw down and sit up tall, you're going to feel even more openness into the hips. 3 more deep breaths. Right? Squatting is another thing that humans are not doing enough of. So we're getting a lot of lower back issues and hip issues because we're not squatting enough, right? Our ancestors have squatted a lot, and so then they get this form of movement that we are severely lacking. The other thing that we're missing is hanging off of like monkey bars and trees, right? So our ancestors have done a lot of that. So if you look at more kind of current type of movement, there's a lot of squatting, there's a lot of hanging that's happening because those are activities that we as more modern city folks are really missing in our movement patterns. All right, hands to the floor, lift the feet back up, turn your toes back forward so you are symmetrical. Then when you come out of the pose, you want to bend at the knees and let the feet drop a little bit. Lift the head and the upper back, so you're coming through an elongated spine and an engaged spine. And shift the weight back toward your heels and use the strength of the legs to come up. Take the feet together and the knees together, arms alongside. On the inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale back to center. Right arm back behind you, left arm forward, and twist. Come back to center, switch arms. Wrap the left arm back, right arm forward, and twist. Back to center again, hands to the hips. Draw the elbows back, shoulders back, lift up for a back bend. Come back to vertical, go the opposite direction. Elbows forward, round the spine, chin toward the chest. Come back to neutral spine, standing tall. Stepping on the left foot, pick up the right knee for tree pose. Sole of the right foot, inner left leg. Hands together in prayer, arms up and out in a wide position. Steady the balance. Keep the gaze at a fixed point to the floor ahead of you. Right, so there might be some minute movements, perfectly fine. So just keep trying to balance. Keeping the gaze at a fixed point ahead of you toward the floor. If you need to move side to side a little bit with your feet, just to make sure that you are looking for balance, that is okay, right? So balance is not only entirely stillness, right? There is a little bit of movement involved as well. Now, as you get more advanced with your balance, maybe your gaze can start to look forward, and then maybe even start to look up, which is very challenging. I start to also get shaky when I start to look upwards. Right? It's hard. All right, let's come back. Arms up, draw the right knee forward, step the right foot down, and walk it out side to side. All right, come back to center, feet together, knees together. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale back to center. Left arm back behind you, right arm forward to twist. Square that back to center, switch arms, and twist to the right. Back to center again. Stepping on the right foot, pick up the left foot. Tree pose, stepping side. Hands together in prayer, arms up and out. Right, so gaze is to the floor, slightly ahead of you. You're pressing your left foot strongly against your right leg and the right leg back into your left foot. The two are squeezing toward each other to give you a more solid base. Alrighty, start to break, arms up, left knee forward, step the left foot down, and walk it out side to side. All right, come back to stillness. Stepping on the left foot, pick up the right and draw the heel back behind you. Left hand to grab the inside of the right foot. Inner thighs together, right arm forward. This is your revolve dancer. You're going to lean forward as you kick the right foot back. So go as far and as deep as you can. Move evenly. As much as you're moving forward, you're moving back nice and slow. All right? So it's an even counter movement. Right? So it might not be 100% equal between the front and the back bodies, right? Because there's a different weight, different lengths that are happening here, and flexibility. So the movement should be equal against balance and force, right? It doesn't have to be 100% symmetry. All right, start to come back up and release. Walk it out. All right, second side, standing tall, stepping on the right foot. Draw the left heel back. Right hand to grab the inside of the left foot. Standing tall, counterbalance. So find steadiness before you move forward, right? And then once you start to move, as much as you're moving forward, you're equally kicking back. So keep finding balance in opposition. Right? It might not be 100% symmetrical. That is okay. Now, all right, let's start to release. Step the left foot back down. Now, if you tend to fall to the outside of the foot and you lose balance like outwardly like this, that means you have to think about pressing strongly to the inside of the foot. It's a very common thing. When people balance, especially like pose like tree, rarely do they fall inwards in terms of like when they lose the balance. It's almost always falling outwards. I'm not quite sure why that is. I think maybe like the weight of the body is inwards, right? So then the body overcompensates and goes outwards. I'm not quite sure exactly what the mechanics are. So that's what happens a lot. You start to press overly to the pinky side of the foot, and then the inside of the foot starts coming off the floor. So what you have to think about is when you're beginning to lose your balance, you have to forcefully press into the toe mounts, back into the inside of the foot, and that would draw the balance back. So it's pretty common, so think about that, right? The next time we take a balance pose. All right, walking it out, once again, stepping on the left foot, pick up the right. This time, right hand to right knee, left hand to left hip. If you have more flexibility, you can take yogic toe lock, grab the right big toe and extend forward. Left arm out to your side to counterbalance, and then start to open up the leg to the side. You can take hand to knee as well if that is more appropriate for you. Start to break, back to center. Step the right foot down, walk it out, side to side. I think Shaquille's balance is getting better. I kind of remember when you first started, like in these tree poses, you were always like... Good, good, good. Right, every time you come in, there's going to be some small improvements, right? So, all right, second side. Stepping on the right foot. Pick up the left knee. Left hand to left knee. Right arm out to counterbalance, or yogic toe lock if you have that, and then open out to the left side. Go back to center. Step the left foot down, release. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, when I come out of the poses, I think draw everything back to center. So, right? So I ended up doing this. Right? You could have also gone like this. I kind of feel like maybe this feels natural. Right? So, because if you didn't do that, right, what happens is if you just do the leg in this way, the weight is going to fall that way, right? So if you think about equal weight distribution, right? So those are the things that we mechanically do to help us with balance. So, so all of those things come into play. All right, let's come back to the down dog. Inhale, reach your hands forward, up and back. Exhale, slight bending of the knees to take it forward. Let the hands come to the floor, and then step the right foot back, step the left foot back to down dog. Inhale, raise your right leg up, three-legged dog. Step the right foot forward between your hands, and the left knee comes down, crescent moon. Untuck the back toes. Walk your hands to the top of the thighs, and lunge the hips forward. So what you're checking for is, when you lunge forward, when you get to your maximum lunge, you want a vertical line. Right? So if you're more advanced, the option is to go this way. However, because your heel is closer towards the knee, it's harder to balance, and that's the reason why it's more advanced. Also, it's much more, requires much more flexibility in the knees. So therefore, you want a vertical. Now, you don't want to go this way because you're going into a split. So if you're already lacking flexibility, this is just going to make everything harder, right? So my recommendation is always start with vertical shins, knee to ankle alignment. Once you have the hips moving forward and you get the stretch of the quads, then press your hands into your thighs and gently start to lean the upper torso back and also looking upwards. You want the back of the neck to be neutral and supported. If you drop the head and look straight up, you're crunching the back of the neck. It might be too much stretch for the throat and collapsing of the neck. So you want lengthiness and you want support. So looking up about 45 degrees is good enough. Once you have that and you're feeling pretty good and you're ready, you can take Venus Mudra, arms reaching up and back. Right, so all those are the elements that go into your crescent moon. Looking good, guys. And let's start to release. Take the hands to the inside of the right foot. Turn the right toes out, turn the right thigh out just a little bit. So now there's an outer rotation with your thigh bone. Walk your hands forward about a foot, and then if you're able to, lower your forearms to the floor, and this is your lizard pose. This is a very powerful hip opener. Now, if this is very easy for you, it's doing practically nothing for you, you can make it more challenging by keeping your toes pointing forward, because this rotation of the hips gives you a little more space. This is going to be much more demanding on the hip flexibility. So if you're able to do that, you can point the toes straight forward. All right, good. All right, let's start to break. Lift the elbows back up, walk your hands back in. If you have your toes turned out, turn the toes back in again, and then frame your foot with your hands to either side. Tuck the left toes under and lengthen over the right leg. So you're looking for the hamstring stretch here on the right leg. Half moon, bend your right knee. Right hand comes forward from your toes by 1 foot or so, and then a little bit off to the right side by a few inches, like 3 or 4 inches to the right. So it's a slight diagonal to the right. Shift forward to stand on the right leg, but a slight support with your right hand. Flex your left foot, stack the left side over your right. You can start with the gaze looking down to check your balance. Once you're nice and steady, if you want to look upwards toward the sky, you can, but it will be a lot more challenging in terms of balance. So if that really throws off your balance, keep the gaze looking down. And so Vinny, what you can do is rather than using the highest setting, you can just start off a little bit lower. So then that way, you can still, right? But you're using it less, right? So that's how you can moderate that. All righty, let's break, step it back. Warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. And then hands to the floor, right foot, stepping back plank. Inhale, 1 breath. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left heel up. Step the left foot forward, crescent moon, right knee comes down. So again, walk your hands to the top of the thighs and work on lunging of the hips forward. But once you get to your deepest lunge, you get your quad stretch, look for that vertical line with your left shin, right? Hands to the top of the thighs. And then once you're set with the base of the pose, your legs and your hips, then you can press your hands into your thighs and lean the upper torso back and gently looking up with the support of the back of the neck. Then once you're steady, feeling pretty good, now you're ready to take the full expression of your pose. Venus Mudra, arms up and back. And start to release the hands to the ends of the left foot, making the adjustment if you need it. So if you need to turn the left toes out, left thigh out, do that. Now, if it's too close to center, you can always just walk your foot out a little bit, right? And you can always just, keep the toes pointing forward. Then walk your hands forward about a foot and forearms down if you can manage that. Right? It's a lot tougher to keep your toes pointing forward, right? You feel the difference? It looks so easy before you're on the first side. When you turn your toes out, it's like, oh, I'm taking a nap, right? And then once you turn it, I see the toes moving a little bit, pressing in, so I know that there's a lot of work happening. Right, so those are the challenges we can present for ourselves, right? If it's way too easy, you want to find the balance, what we call the balance between effort and ease. You want the pose to be easy enough so that you're not stressing over it. But you don't want it to be so easy as like you're taking a nap, right? Then why bother? So you want to give yourself enough effort so that you're doing something, but you don't want it to be stressful so that you're working too hard either. So that's always the balance that you can always look for. Left foot forward. All right, let's break. Lift the elbows up, walk your hands back in. If your toes are turned out, turn it back in. You might even have to walk it in a little bit. Frame your left foot with your hands, tuck the right toes under, and lengthen over your left leg. So for those of you, if you started out with the legs too wide, right? Again, feeling like you're going into split, it's very hard for you to maintain balance here and like strength and support. You might want to walk the back foot in a little bit. So by shortening that stance and that width of that stance, you might be able to find more stability, and that's what you want in every pose, stability. All right, half moon. Bend your left knee. Left hand forward about a foot, a little bit up to left side. Most of the work is on that standing left leg. Left hand is there to give you a little bit of support, but it's not carrying that much weight. Stack the right side over your left, flex your right foot strongly, reach it back in space. Reach your right arm forward and left fingertips down in opposition. So both Vinny and Rebecca flex your right foot strongly. So you don't have to look at me, just you've had enough. Right? So the back leg is getting a little bit collapsing, right? So you want to flex it back in space and lift it higher. So it's kind of like getting like this a little bit. So you want to flex and lift. And the Shaquille, if you want to walk your left hand in a little bit, yeah, that's better. Good. There you go. That's much better, guys. Everybody's looking much better. Although, yeah, you're not holding it for like an hour. All right, stepping it back, warrior two. Reverse warrior. Hands to the floor, left foot stepping back plank. Inhale one breath, exhale chaturanga. Inhale up dog. Exhale down dog. Pigeon, left leg up. Left knee in toward the nose. Land the shin to the floor. So you're in a pointed left toe position. Again, left knee, left thigh, angles out to side, 30 to 45 degrees. Inch your right knee further back, untuck the toes, and get the seat as low as you can. You'll notice that with the left thigh turning out, you're actually balancing on a triangle, right? So elongate the spine, you should feel like the hips are pretty level, and the spine is pretty vertical. If you did this right, you're maybe not even needing your hands to balance. Once you're ready, walk your hands forward, forearms down, or making pillows with the hands and resting your forehead. Take the next bunch of breaths. Allow the hips to just release. Now you still want to have some level of activity with the right toes reaching back. So you want the front of the right leg lengthen. Now as you continue to breathe into this, can you find the sense that gravity is just pulling at the hips and you can release the hips a little bit more? And then can your mid-torso, and your upper torso, and your shoulders also just get heavier and release a little bit more? And then let's add a side stretch here. Angle your torso over your left leg. So maybe even your belly rests on top of your left thigh. Left forearm stays down to support, but right arm reaching forward, extending. So your right arm extending gives you that right side stretch. So reach through your right fingertips, moving to the left side. Reach through your right toes, moving back in space. So your right side ribs, your right shoulder, getting lots of length. You might even feel it on your left glute. And start to walk it back to center. Walk your hands back in, tuck the right toes under, and press back to your down dog, and pedal out the legs. Walk it out side to side. Right, so if you have weak circulation or if you have tight hips, there could be a lot of compression that happens around the hips, around the legs, right? So you might feel pins and needles. You might feel some numbness, right? So that's why pedaling out the legs helps to bring circulation and even things out. All right, come back to stillness, down dog, right leg up. Take the right knee in toward the nose, and then point the right toe position. Land that shin to the floor. Start angling out the right knee, right thigh to the side already. Then into left knee further back. Untuck the toes. Lower the hips. Walk your hands back. Elongate through the spine. Feel that your hips are pretty level. Feel that the spine is pretty vertical. Once you're set, you're ready to make the way forward. Staying on your forearms and making pillows with hands. And again, when you first come into the pose, it may not be your deepest step. That's okay. Just set the structure of the pose. And then as you breathe into it in the next few breaths, find more and more subtleness and depth in your pose. Still find that your left leg is active because your toes are still reaching back. Find heavier and heavier hips, mid-torso, upper torso. All right, let's start to angle the torso over to the right. So lift up slightly. Let the torso start to steer toward the right. Right forearm comes to the floor for support. Left arm is active and reaching out. So as you crawl the left fingertips forward and toward the right, your left shoulder, left side ribs, getting lots of length in your left arm. But you're still reaching through your left toes back, so you're still lengthening through the back leg. As you keep the stretch in the next few breaths, you might also start to feel the right glutes, right? Because there's a lot of weight going into the right leg right now, so you're getting some stretch there as well. All right, begin to walk it back in, lift back up. Ground the palms, tuck the left toes under, and press it back. Down dog. Pedal out the legs. Take lots of movement, side to side. And walk your feet forward towards your hands. Bend the knees and take the feet down, extending the legs forward. With the hands supporting to either side, slide the hands out to assist you in lowering onto your back. Keep the left arm out, draw the left knee in, and twist to the right. Recline, twist in. Take it back to center, switch legs, switch arms, and twist the other direction. And back to center again, hugging both knees in. And when you're ready, step the feet to the floor. Slide the legs forward, Shavasana, final relaxation. Your feet are separated, toes are turned out. Arms alongside the body, palms face up. Release your shoulders, release your neck and your head. Eyes are closed. Gentle breaths, let it all go. Shavasana, final relaxation. Begin to draw the breath back in and start to move the fingers and the toes. Reaching the arms overhead, stretching opposite directions. Gently rolling over to the right side and come up to a comfortable cross-legged position. Grounding evenly through your seat, palms face up, fingers come back to Dhyana Mudra. Let the shoulders broaden, lengthen as through your spine. Inhale for all. Hands together in prayer. Bowing forward, sealing the practice. Come up. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here today. And thank you for joining my practice today and sharing it with me. Again, please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule, as well as my payment information for Venmo and for PayPal. Venmo is my preferred way of payment, and the handle is Simha Yoga Lab. 4-digit ID code, if you're prompted for verification, is 8096. Costs are $10. If you're having a difficult time, $5 is fine. Please do the best you can. I'm streaming on Instagram and on Facebook, and then again, the videos are uploaded to my YouTube channel, Simha Yoga Lab. Visit any of those platforms anytime for practice. And please share the word if you can. Thank you. Be well. Take care. I'll see you soon.